Welcome back to the Natural Nine Ingredients Shakedown, where we deep dive into our skincare ingredients to explain exactly what they are and what they do for your skin.
Today's topic is beeswax. This is actually my favorite ingredient because of how many different areas it can add positive qualities to a skincare product.
Well, I can't wait to hear them all because my first thought is that it sounds a bit heavy. When I hear wax, I think of candles or polishing furniture. I don't immediately think, put this on my face.
It's a common misconception, but in the world of natural skincare, wax, specifically yellow beeswax, is actually the glue that holds everything together. Not just the formula, but your skin barrier itself.
You specified yellow beeswax. Is there a difference between that and the white wax I see in other products?
Huge difference. White beeswax has typically been pressure filtered and bleached to remove its color and scent.
Bleached? That doesn't sound very gentle.
Exactly. That's why we use yellow beeswax. It is unrefined. It retains its natural color, that subtle honey scent, and most importantly, the traces of pollen, propolis, and vitamin A that are often stripped out in the white version.
So it's the whole food version of the ingredient.
Precisely. It fits our philosophy of absolutely no fillers or synthetics. We want the raw, nutrient-dense material, not the sanitized industrial version.
Okay, so it's pure, but what does it actually do? Why is it one of the 9 hero ingredients?
Its primary job is to lock in moisture and protect the skin barrier. Think of your skin like a bucket with tiny holes. You can pour water in, that's hydration, but if you don't put a lid on it, the water evaporates.
So beeswax is the lid?
Yes, but a magic lid. Unlike petroleum jelly, which creates a complete seal that can suffocate the skin, beeswax forms a breathable barrier. It keeps the moisture from our tallow and coconut oil locked in, but it still allows the skin to breathe and function normally.
It feels like we are just rediscovering this now, but I'm sure our ancestors made use of beeswax after they'd finished harvesting the honey from hives. How far back does this go?
Ideally, we should call it the original plastic. Long before we had Tupperware or cling film, ancient civilizations used beeswax to waterproof ships and seal food jars.
So it was their version of a vacuum seal?
Exactly. It was so valuable that it was actually used as currency. In 181 BC, when the Romans defeated the Corsicans, they didn't ask for gold, they imposed a tax of £100,000 of beeswax.
Wow, they valued wax as much as money.
They did, and for good reason. It never spoils. Archaeologists have found beeswax in Egyptian tombs that is thousands of years old and still chemically stable. When we put it in our jars, we are using one of the most stable, time-tested substances on Earth.
You mentioned that it forms a barrier, but I'm worried about heat. If I put this on my baby in the summer, or if I wear it to the gym, will it just melt off?
That's a great question. This is where the biology of the bee is fascinating. Beeswax has a melting point of about 62 to 64 degrees Celsius.
Which is way hotter than a summer's day.
Exactly, and certainly hotter than human body temperature, which is 37 degrees. This means the wax stays solid enough to keep that protective seal intact on your skin, even when you're warm, but it softens just enough to be flexible.
Compare that to, say, coconut oil.
Right, coconut oil melts at 24 degrees. On a hot day, it turns to liquid. Beeswax stays put. It anchors the other ingredients, like the tallow and jojoba, to your skin so they have time to actually work.
I've heard the word humectant thrown around. Does that apply here?
It does. Beeswax attracts water molecules, so it's not just sitting there, it's actively helping to keep the skin hydrated over time. This is vital for newborns, or anyone for that matter, because our skin dries out over time and after washing with soaps.
And because it's a solid at room temperature, does that help with the texture of Natural Nine?
It's crucial for the texture. Without it, the oils would just be oils. The beeswax gives the cream that rich, cushiony feel that restores and protects. It stabilizes the formula naturally, so we don't have to add synthetic emulsifiers.
I want to go back to the yellow color. You said it comes from pollen.
Yes, but also from something called propolis. It's a resin bees collect from trees to sterilize their hives. In unrefined yellow beeswax, tiny trace amounts of this propolis remain.
And that's a good thing?
It's a fantastic thing. Propolis is widely known in dermatology for being antibacterial and antifungal.
So, by using the unrefined wax, we get a microdose of that protection.
Exactly. It acts as a gentle, natural preservative for the cream itself, and it helps keep the skin flora balanced. If we used white, bleached wax, we'd be scrubbing away all that natural biological intelligence.
Well, I never knew beeswax was so useful. Bees really are a gift.
There's a good reason we all love bees.
If you want to see the difference between yellow and white beeswax, our research and information for this episode is published on the ingredients section of our website, naturalnine.co. And as always, if you have questions, drop a comment or send us a direct message.
Have a good day, and we'll see you in the next episode.